technologies that are given the breakthrough as far as AI is concerned. So generative AI is one topic which is for separate discussion at a later point in time. But the technology that I see in the future is, for instance, there was a recent research done by an organization, especially in the aerospace industry, wherein it will prevent an aircraft from crash landing on the ground.
If a candidate is laid off from a company, so give us a short explanation of what he should do immediately to get himself back and be in the track of career development.
So if India has to prosper in the coming years, it has to be an innovation engine, so to speak. Okay. We can learn from other countries by adapting those models from the perspective of how India can prosper as a country as a whole. So innovation is the number one priority. Innovation has to be there, be it either selling your product or even your service offering that you're offering to your client.
Sir, it's wonderful to have you in this podcast. Thank you so much for accepting my invite and welcome to Undefined. Governance, risk, and compliance. You are a GRC consultant in TCS. Sir, can you please walk us through with a short explanation of the importance of a GRC consultant workforce in an organization?
Yeah, thank you so much for the introduction. It is an absolute delight to be part of your podcast. The most important factor is the security professionals must be conversant with the knowledge of how to address those threats and how to thwart those threats that are arising in their organization and from outside as well. So their intrusion prevention system, their intrusion detection system, IPS and IDS must be strong enough. They must be liaising and partnering with good organizations to combat these threats that are arising constantly from the marketplace. So threats could be outside, as we rightly discussed, and they could also be emerging from inside of the organization. So when I'm saying inside of the organizations, some of the people can click unknown links that are not advised by the organization to use. So some of them could do it intentionally, some of them could do it unintentionally. So those kind of incidents must be addressed time and again. So governance risk compliance is a strategic function, as I always say, and it is not anything technical to do with tenets of cybersecurity like network security or vulnerability assessment, penetration testing. Those are all technical side of the cybersecurity. So governance is typically understanding how you can define the security framework of an organization, and to ensure that that framework is well established by defining the policies that are governed within the enterprise and also supported by regular standards and guidelines that are in place.
Software engineers build softwares for banking transactions. They install proper security features. They will ensure that the transaction, financial, and the personal data is stored safely and securely. But there are cyber frauds that is happening constantly around the world. How is that these scammers run away with the huge amount of money, though everything is happening digitally, though the software engineers places all sorts of details without giving a login ID, password, or banking details, anybody cannot make a financial transaction. How is this happening, sir? Where are we lapsing in when it comes to cybersecurity? What is your view on this?
I think that's a fantastic question. When it comes to dealing with hackers, it's not an easy job, and it has to be monitored continuously on a regular basis. And it is a very tiring exercise for most enterprises. Trust me on this, because it's not easy, because the hackers, there is also a group called Hacker Anonymous. Since you mentioned the word hackers, they go along with being anonymous in their approach. So they're not out in the open. You don't know their identities. You don't know where they're operating from, which part of the globe they're coming from. So they're masquerading their entire approach, which makes it extremely difficult for organizations to trace their origin.
Okay.
So even if you were to trace their origin, it is very, very, very difficult because they don't operate from a single source, right? So if you were to trace the source, it is extremely cumbersome to trace the source from which the hacking has happened, because it is a huge network, as they call it the dark web, right? So they are always anonymous. They don't have virtual identities. Their social presence is abysmal, so to speak, and they don't have any of their transactions being recorded in the outside space. So if all that is being put into perspective, one needs to be extremely cautious and at the same time very, very careful when it comes to dealing with hackers. So what are the policies that are governed in place? What is the governance framework that has been defined by the organization to ensure that all the employees of the enterprise are completely in compliance with the framework that has been defined by the organization? It is basically to go ahead of the hacker to understand what are the trends in today's marketplace and to spread the awareness amongst all the employees of organization to ensure that they are well conversant with the tenets of cybersecurity. So cybersecurity is not just the responsibility of the cybersecurity practice. If people are aware about the reason why cybersecurity is there, the importance of cybersecurity must be kept in proper perspective. And the other important aspect is you need management and executive leadership support. Without that, any initiative cannot succeed. And even more so with cybersecurity, it is important that we get the buy-in and also the budgetary confirmation from cybersecurity for cybersecurity initiatives to be rolled out within the organization from the executive leadership. So all this has to happen. And also we need to showcase to the executive leadership and management about the potential threats that could possibly arise in the enterprise because of lack of awareness and lack of proper protection mechanisms. And finally, an ability to react or respond to those threats when they arise. So if all these three are not there in place, it is very difficult or cumbersome for the organization to react and address those risks that are emerging from the hackers.
I have your article here. The fantastic article that you wrote on LinkedIn is humans are incredible innovators and inspirers. Behavioral economics has taught us that even most seasoned executives suffer from cognitive biases. A 2021 study by Gartner noted 65% of decisions made more complex than when compared 2 years prior. AI CEO is the perfect alternative. This is one of the best articles. So my question to you is, with AI evolving rapidly, one AI can control and give commands to another artificial intelligence systems. If a robot is a CEO, if a robot is assigned for managing secure vault, if it is there for managing a healthcare system, if a slightest manipulation is caused by a human error, it could cause serious problems outside. So, do you think that there will be no risks in placing these artificial intelligence systems in the control commands? What kind of structure should we follow when we come to understand artificial intelligence systems and place them in a better way when it comes to cybersecurity?
Yes. So when it comes to dealing with robots don't get tired. That's the first reason why many people resort to using robots as an alternative for humans. There is no machine fatigue as such. In the sense, they can work 24 bar 7, given any exercise or given any command to execute, so on and so forth. So that said, I believe that it is more important for us to understand the reason why we are ushering in an age which is going to be hyper connected in the future. When I'm saying hyper connected, 98% of the globe is going to be connected by 2050.
Okay.
That is shown by research and studies which have clearly shown that this particular information is factual and is also going to be helping us in the coming days when it comes to dealing with artificial intelligence and the likes.
So you mentioned that one of your core competencies is gamification. So talking about gamification, when we are implementing these kind of models in the systems where it involves larger amount of data, like banking, let it be BFSI, let it be healthcare. So is it easy to implement? What kind of results can you derive through gamification?
Yeah, so I think that's a fantastic question once again. So gamification is a process of engaging people at work with their consent and also to ensure that there is an element of playfulness involved in the work that they are doing. One example which I can quote as far as gamification is concerned is the tool Yammer, which is now renamed to, I think it has a different name. Microsoft has acquired this product, Yammer. Yammer is a tool which actually has gamification integrated within it.
Okay.
Gamification has three specific elements. One element is to engage employees. Employee engagement is one of the critical factors of using the gamification. The second aspect is collaboration amongst different employees. And the third aspect is to get their perspectives and their brain bites. So, as they say, mindfulness is very important when it comes to dealing with initiatives of such sorts. But you need to have a proper administration mechanism wherein you will have certain people who are managing the gamification exercise that has been employed across the enterprise.
So one of your LinkedIn posts which shoot me is, don't be surprised if your CEO is a robot. I have your article here, the fantastic article that you wrote on LinkedIn is, humans are incredible innovators and inspirers. Behavioral economics has taught us that even most seasoned executives suffer from cognitive biases. A 2021 study by Gartner noted 65% of decisions made more complex than when compared to 2 years prior. AI CEO is the perfect alternative. This is one of the best articles. So my question to you is, with AI evolving rapidly, one AI can control and give commands to another artificial intelligence systems. If a robot is a CEO, if a robot is assigned for managing secure vault, if it is there for managing a healthcare system, if a slightest manipulation is caused by a human error, it could cause serious problems outside. So, do you think that there will be no risks in placing these artificial intelligence systems in the control commands? What kind of structure should we follow when we come to understand artificial intelligence systems and place them in a better way when it comes to cybersecurity?
Yes. So when it comes to dealing with robots don't get tired. That's the first reason why many people resort to using robots as an alternative for humans. There is no machine fatigue as such. In the sense, they can work 24/7, given any exercise or given any command to execute, so on and so forth. So that said, I believe that it is more important for us to understand the reason why we are ushering in an age which is going to be hyper connected in the future. When I'm saying hyper connected, 98% of the globe is going to be connected by 2050.
Okay.
That is shown by research and studies which have clearly shown that this particular information is factual and is also going to be helping us in the coming days when it comes to dealing with artificial intelligence and the likes. So to answer your question on cybersecurity with respect to robots and leaders would be replaced by robotic intelligence, it's important that we integrate these elements in a framework while we are building them in the process. When I'm saying building them in the process, you have to ensure that proper systems are set up in place to ensure that these particular robots are functioning effectively at the same time efficiently as per the instructions given by the humans. So the humans have to walk alongside with these robots while executing the tasks laid down by the leadership and their respective stakeholders. So we will have to continuously monitor these robots, though we have fed data into them, we have given them clear instructions to execute. They don't have machine fatigue, as we already discussed a while ago. But even considering all these factors in mind, humans have to be overseeing. Like for instance, in IT parlance, there are two different terms called as data custodian and data owner. So in this case, the data owner would be the humans or the leadership, uh, humans who are seated at the leadership level. Like the CXOs, for example, CXO could be a human who is working alongside a robot, who could also be as chief robotic officer or whatever term you can say in the future that might emerge. So they will have to oversee these data custodians. So the data owners could be the humans. At the same time, the data custodians would be the robots, who would be primarily responsible for executing tasks. At the same time, they'll be the humans will be overseeing all these activities which these robots are doing. So even if you were to take today's example into consideration, we have robotic kitchens, we have robotic surgeries that are being done by robots. There are robotic assisted surgeries in healthcare. And a lot of other breakthroughs have been happening in different other industries as well. So that's the only way that we can succeed in whatever we are doing in the current line of work that we are pursuing.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
by the way, viewers, when it comes to cybersecurity, you will have to, dial 1930 to place complaints in case of any mishappenings happening in your account or any financial transactions that has been scammed. And also to find the LinkedIn of Sir, anybody can connect through the video description. I've given the link in the description. Dear viewers, the Great Asia AI Summit 2026 is happening virtually. It is being sponsored by Salesforce and the link is given in the description. You are from Chennai. You also completed your schooling from one of the biggest schools in India, Padma Sheshatri Bal Bhavan. And then you completed your engineering in electrical and electronics communication engineering. That is really very good to know that a person who is from electrical is actually landed up into a technology which is going to add more value to the system. And you also worked in one of the biggest companies in the world. Other than this, you are an exceptional storyteller. Storytelling adds authenticity and clarity to the content, and you have described it wonderfully in your videos. You are also into career coaching. So, talking about career coaching, what kind of curriculum do you follow? What are these sessions focusing on? How are these sessions going to add value to the students or anyone who is taking up the course? Please give us few details on this career coaching, sir.
Yeah, when it comes to career coaching, it's more about understanding the needs of the student as far as the coaching is concerned. So when it comes to understanding the needs of the student, a lot of students have different perspectives around what they really want to do with their careers. Some of them could have a clear vision as to what they really want to get into immediately after their graduation from any institute whatsoever. The second aspect is there are mid-career professionals who have at least 10 to 15 years of experience in the career run, and they want to position their careers exactly as they wanted to. They might have picked up good experience working in good companies in their 10, 15-year stints, but they are not focused on what really has to transpire in the coming years. So they want to establish themselves in their current line of work. They want to get certified. They want to upskill themselves, so on and so forth. So how can you help mid-career professionals and also early beginners like people who are fresh out of college? So those are the questions that I'm asking myself. Based on my industry experience, 2 decades of industry experience, I would love to add my perspective and my thought process in kind of establishing the rapport with these professionals. Also to understand their pain points as to what industry area they're going to focus on from the perspective of landing on jobs of their chosen field of interest.
Okay. So it's going to be a one-on-one session, right, sir?
It's mostly one-on-one. I would tailor it to be one-on-one to start with. Maybe as it progresses and as it builds momentum, we can have one-to-many as well in future.
All right. If a candidate is laid off from a company, so give us a short explanation of what he should do immediately to get himself back and be in the track of career development.
Getting laid off is a commonplace in today's marketplace, and we should not get bogged down with such instances in the career run. One has to really build their network. So I can date back to my earliest stint with one of the premier organizations, Deloitte, way back in the year 2007. When I was associated with Deloitte, I was surprised to see a senior leader who approaches during a meeting and tell us that if you're not working, you are networking. So it didn't occur to me that there's so much power in that statement that he said at that point in time. I'll repeat it for the audience. If you're not working, you're networking. Doesn't mean to say that you should be networking all through your time that you're working, but as soon as you build the networks that's required for you to sustain the momentum and also to build the camaraderie and conversation with different professionals from different fields, it will help you to broaden your perspective. Not only does it broaden your perspective, it also gives you the window of opportunity to connect with many professionals with diverse skill sets. And that gives you an opportunity to build those core competencies required to succeed in your ventures.
So networking is the solution.
Absolutely. Networking is a solution, and that is the number one skill that will be required to land in the next job.
Okay.
So just because you're laid off doesn't mean that you're not skilled enough.
Okay.
Your future should be bright, and you should focus on your future, which is of utmost importance. And in that scenario, you should still not lose your spirit. With the courage of conviction, you should target jobs and you should land them immediately. I don't see that as a problem. I only see them as a stepping stone to their future successes.
That's fantastic. That is well said, sir. You don't see it as a problem, you see it as an opportunity. That's really good. So, talking about the customer needs, what do customers today look for when it comes to digital technology, and how can India build an environment that has innovation and can deliver these needs in a most efficient way? What should India do?
Yeah, I think that's a fabulous question. So you rightly mentioned about the word innovation, right? So innovation is not just about building some fancy product or services, offering services to your end customers based on a new initiative. It could also be a delta improvement on the current line of work that you're doing, a service that you're providing to your customer. Or it could be a delta improvement on the product that you're adding, a feature to your product. So customers are looking for enhancements. Customers are also looking for improvements in their current services or even product offerings that you're providing to them. So you will always have to think out of the box. You need to have the ability to solve problems, and you need to creatively conjure up different images in your mind and also to form teams which will be helping you to solve those problems. It is not, as I said, teamwork makes the dream work. So you need to have assemble a team of people who are well equipped with the current technologies or even the latest trends in the marketplace, and also to help the customer solve his or her problems in the process of addressing them on a regular basis. The first and foremost skill that you rightly mentioned is innovation. So if India has to prosper in the coming years, it has to be an innovation engine, so to speak.
Okay.
We can learn from other countries by adapting those models from the perspective of how India can prosper as a country as a whole. So innovation is the number one priority. Innovation has to be there, be it either selling your product or even your service offering that you're offering to your client. The second and foremost aspect is to be a constant problem solver. It could be a small problem that you can looking at It could be a complex issue which you're trying to break it down to smaller pieces and also to ensure that that is being addressed. Blind dates is one of the products that was shipped widely in the market during the time that got sold rapidly. What the problem that the person who manufactured or created the lion dates as a brand was that there were no seedless dates in the market.
Okay.
Every time you bought a date, you had to remove the seed and then you had to pop it in your mouth. Whereas in that case, he found that as a problem. And he envisioned that people will be wanting to have dates which are de-seeded or they didn't have those seedless dates. So he actually ensured that those seeds were removed by a team of people. And then he packaged the dates and then he sold it out in the market, saying that lion dates were seedless dates. And then that was a roaring success. So the reason why I'm quoting this example of lion dates is that people have to see problems as opportunities. There could be many problems existing in the marketplace. Even for the client and customers, they are grappling with many problems in their current line of work to their businesses and to their customers as well. So, in our conversations that we are having with our customers, we need to identify strategic priorities. We need to identify it with intent and also to find out what are the pressing pain points of those customers that we are dealing with and how can we alleviate those problems of those customers by solving their key pain points or their problems. So identifying problem statements will go a long way in building the rapport, not just with the customers, but also in defining the path that is required for us to succeed in the years to come.
So, what kind of technology do you wish to see in the future? What kind of problems will it solve?
Yeah, so the technologies that I foresee in the future is AI enabled or AI assisted engineering, right? So we have many technologies that are given the breakthrough as far as AI is concerned. So generative AI is one topic which is for separate discussion at a later point in time. But the technology that I see in the future is, for instance, there was a recent research done by an organization, especially in the aerospace industry, wherein it will prevent an aircraft from crash landing on the ground every time it goes through a failure at certain point in time while it is moving in the skies. So what really happens is sometimes when airplanes are going at top speeds in the skies, some of the machine failure or faults tends to cause disruption in the way airplanes land on the runways, or could also be happening causing some mishaps in the mid-air or anything like that. So to prevent such mishaps from occurring, whenever an airplane is undergoing such disruptions, there was a process. There is a process wherein a detachable parachute is being created within the airplane.
Okay.
And this detachable parachute suddenly opens up every time the airplane goes through a sudden machine fault or whatsoever problem that it undergoes, not letting the aircraft crash land on the ground. So I think this is a significant breakthrough when it comes to dealing with the design of airplanes and also saving human lives.
Okay.
So these are the kind of technologies that I'll be envisioning in the future.
Okay.
This is one example. There are many examples like prevention of many diseases, right? For example, there are newer diseases, though we are marching towards hyper personalization and generative AI and many other technologies that we see in the marketplace. At the same time, we are also walking alongside a huge ramification of diseases that have spread because of the various reasons, right? Could be because of the mundane work that we're exposed to, stress. So healthcare breakthroughs, I think that is something which I will be watching out for in the coming years, wherein you will have research that is being done to prevent diseases and also to improve the possibilities of resolving a malignant disease. For example, cancer as an example, right? So you can look at solving the cancer problem, be it from whichever form of virus that it emanates from in the human system. Still research is being done. So that's something which I'm looking at. So saving human lives would be a significant problem statement for across all industries to solve. That's the breakthrough that I'm looking at technology to solve in the coming years.
Wow. Big technology I'm looking forward is mass teleportation of people from one place to another place, like the one we used to see in
Right.
the Jetsons. So, if anyone wants to get training from you for cybersecurity, do you offer any sort of training for them?
Yeah, I do. I give a lot of insights to people who are approaching me. I do it in my free time, and people can reach out to me via LinkedIn and also the social handles. So I'm open to discussing any priorities of people who are wanting to get very serious about their profession as far as cybersecurity is concerned. Also, from the perspective of information technology, there is myriad of opportunities for people who want to scale in this particular line of field that they are choosing. So feel free to reach out to me if at all you have any questions. I'm available on LinkedIn, so you can ping me or you can connect with me. I'm open to network and collaborate.
Thank you so much, sir. With your permission, I'm giving all the social media links in the video description. Guys, if you want to connect, this is a great opportunity. If you want to learn cybersecurity, if you want to grow your career, you can connect with sir and get all the guidance, get connected for one-on-one session and take your career forward. Sir, it has been a wonderful conversation with you. Really, from the beginning till now, we have got so much insight, so much information about cybersecurity, artificial intelligence. We also came to know about the functions of various organizations, a lot of systems involved. Such a knowledgeable, such a great conversation it was. Thank you so much for being a part of this podcast. We are very grateful for your time. Have a wonderful day. Good evening, sir.
Thank you so much, Vinod. It's a great initiative that you're taking to reach out to professionals out in the market and also to connect with them to build the rapport and also to get the know-how and information out in the marketplace. So this is a fantastic initiative that you're taking, and I really wish that you scale great heights as far as this initiative is concerned. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be part of the podcast, and I'm looking forward to more such valuable conversations in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.